Hello, everybody. This is Chris again. Just wanted to make a quick video sharing my thoughts about not necessarily Mormonism itself, but rather Mormons as people. Now, I've had kind of a fascination with Mormons going back 10, 15 years, however long. Had some Mormon friends in middle school and in high school, but my interest was kind of jogged today when I read it, or when I watched a video about two female Mormon missionaries who was filmed them talking about their particular mission in the southern United States, and also watched another video about two Mormon missionaries being interviewed. Again, they were female. And I just kind of remember being struck during both videos about uh, the fact that although Mormonism is a false religion, and again, I'm not trying to attack I'm not definitely trying not to attack individuals who are Mormons. Rather, I'm saying that I strongly disagree with some of their religious tenets, and especially the founding of their religion and some of the teachings of it. And if anybody's interested, there are plenty of links out there discussing that. But rather, I was struck by the Mormons themselves, their joy and their simplicity and their zeal for their faith. And these are all things that greatly touched me. Even though I disagree with Mormonism, I cannot help but find myself being in awe, really, of their commitment to their faith and their interest, their desire to share it with others. And whenever I come across Mormon missionaries, definitely there's that, feeling, oh, I don't really want to talk to them. They're Mormons, their religion, it's false. Sometimes I am tempted to think, oh, well, how could they ever believe the things they do? Yet I am very, very moved by the fact that they are so committed to their faith that they are willing to serve these missions, to go into some foreign country or even home in the United States, somewhere else that they don't know, and live an austere life and go out into very scary and uncertain situations to share their faith with others. And that's something I think is Catholics and even Protestants, we can all commend. We can say that's very honorable, that's laudable, and quite frankly, it's something that a lot of us need to work better towards being like. These missionaries in particular, they were so emphatically in love with God as their heavenly Father. And I know the Mormon theology about God's heavenly Father is off from the traditional Christian doctrine, but that's another topic for another time. I was just very, very moved by the fact that they love the idea of God as their Father. They love the idea that Jesus Christ came to die for their sins. And they're so in love with God that they really want to share what they perceive as the true gospel about Him with others. And I really think we as Catholics, especially, can take a good hard lesson from this, that we need to be equally as zealous and even more zealous in sharing our faith with others. Because if Mormons are willing to dedicate 2 years of their life or 18 months for females to going out and laying all things aside, all the wonder, all the needs, all the cares of all their personal desires in service to their church, why are the vast majority of us not willing to do the same? That's not saying we have to go on a 2 year mission, or why are we not willing to share our faith with others in our own lives, in our workplace, in our social life, in our homes, with our family and friends? I think there's a lot that we can admire about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Without, of course, agreeing with their doctrines, we can still look upon them as people who believe they've been touched by God. And I'm not denying that they haven't been touched by God. God works outside of the fullness of truth in the Catholic faith. We can really be inspired by them and inspired to do good for our faith and to teach the fullness of the faith and to really have this zeal for the salvation of souls. And again, I'm not trying to debase individual Mormons by criticizing their faith, and I'm not here to criticize their faith in this video. Uh, Even though I believe, at least historically, it's not the Christian faith. I rather, I really think that we have been usurped. We've been upstaged by Mormons in many instances. Their faith's growing really fast. It's spreading throughout Latin America and parts of Asia and Africa. So, and I know the Catholic faith spreading as well in many instances, but we need to truly take a long, hard look at ourselves and say, what are we doing to spread Christ and his church? And we need to dialogue with Mormons. We need to sit down and have a conversation with them and not degrade them, not treat them with disrespect, but to love them as Christ has loved us. And to try to get to know them, to understand them, and hopefully them to get to know us and understand us. And so hopefully with the result that we can lead them to the fullness of the true church that Christ founded, the Catholic Church, which he founded on the rock of Peter. It's just something we need to really learn from and to implement, and hopefully to acquire the level of zeal that many of them have shown. So those are just a few of my thoughts about individual Mormons. And again, their faith, I strongly disagree with many of the tenets of the idea that the church was apostate for 1,800 years until, lo and behold, Joseph Smith found some golden plates up in upstate New York. But that aside, just the same, even out of something that is false, good can come out of it. So again, we just need to take a long, hard look at it and see what are we doing to share the faith. So I pray that each and every one of you would think about that and we could learn from it together. And thank you all. God bless.